Hello, hello. There we go. Sorry, microphone wasn't working. How are we all doing? Morning, Christian. Morning, Peter. Morning, JC, Amy, Kenley, Tom, John, Danny, Ian. Macumba. That's a good one. Harder to say. Morning, Virginia, Andres. J3GM090194. Morning. How you doing? Just running through the news quickly before we get going, just to see if there's anything else exciting here. We've had another shot across the bow from the Japanese this morning. I was just seeing if there's anything else exciting there. So the Japanese, basically, obviously, we're looking for an intervention move from the Japanese based on the US dollar yen movement. This is what they say before they do an intervention. So that looks like it's on the cards in the next week if we don't start buying the yen. Half of the economists think the rates will hike. Half of the economists think the rates will freeze on the euro. Apart from that, not a lot else, really. News today, it is CAD unemployment day. It's an hour before market open this afternoon, so not really going to do a lot to the markets, I don't think, this afternoon. But we'll see what happens. If we get a massive volatile move beforehand from the US dollar, obviously we might get a bit of a tricky open today. But so far, basically, no news today. So. And we've got nothing forecast. Right. DAX is gapping up at the moment. We are just filling the gap. I was going to do this gap play this morning. I saw it. And we started to push down, pull up. And we had this big candle going. And I thought, shall I take it? It looks like it's going to happen, but I didn't bother. So kind of wish I had of now. But anyway, gap play is on. So we're going to go for the gap at the open. I think we'll get a break to the downside, but we'll see what happens, whether they go for that or not. We've still got that massive upside gap in the DAX to go for this morning. Well, not this morning, this week. Well, in the near future. Because we haven't got back to that gap yet, and it's been quite a while now. So the market keeps trying to rally up to it, but we can't get there. So we are contracting at the moment. So we'll see. But I'm expecting some upside movement over the next few weeks from all indices, but it's really going to be dependent on the US dollar. And the US dollars are very unpredictable at the minute. So we'll see where we go. Yesterday, I had a go on an aggressive drawdown control for the pound US dollar, which failed. So I got into an aggressive drawdown position there. We had a nice big rejection wick, and then we had another big, nice rejection wick. So I took the reversal alert on an aggressive drawdown control position there. It didn't work out. So I lost about 0.75% on that move. I posted this in Telegram. Yeah. Stupid. Basically, I identified this support resistance zone here. All these wicks. Yeah. You can see those, can't you? Yeah. So I identified these two support resistance zones. So I stupidly put my stop loss above the support. Rookie mistake. So yeah, that was stupid. Anyway, so I got stopped out on that one, which is unfortunate. But it has bounced off the support. However, we got a big sell coming in this morning on the pound US. So I've got another aggressive that I took yesterday, which was just after. We got a reversal alert just afterwards. We got this nice big wick rejection off of it, and then we pushed up. So I was expecting that to be the bounce. We got the bounce, but we didn't really get the follow through this morning. So we'll see if this pulls back and continues to rally this morning. Yeah, so far this month's been very tricky. I'm not in profit yet this month. Finding it quite difficult to combat this US dollar move. But we will see. Morning, Jerry. Morning, Paolo. Morning, Seca Fan Club. Right. So, US dollar yen. Obviously, the move above that 145 level is holding at the moment. We have just had an M pattern reversal on that. Got an entry on that, which my TP is all the way down here in case we get an intervention. But market this morning had a little bit of a drop. But it's kind of bounced back up again. So we'll see what happens. All of these yens, basically, we had that little bit of a spike down, but they are all kind of, counteracting that drop. So we'll see what happens today with the yen. If the yen continues to get weakened today and it continues to push, I suspect sometime next week we're going to get that intervention and we'll get that big, strong move from the Japanese yen. So want to be shorting the yen, shorting everything against the yen. You want to be long yen. Morning, Rajiv. Glad I'm not the only one where an aggressive drawdown control doesn't work. No, they don't work a lot of the time. When they do work, though, they're awesome. They don't work a lot of the time because, what are they? Stop loss trades. What happens with stop losses? You get stopped out. So some of them work. Just reverting back to the old previous using a stop. Oh, hang on, I need to get some positions on. Crap. That's quite a quick candle, isn't it? Oh my God, quick. I hate trading manually. Too close. So bear with me a sec. Just having to do things manually on this account because you can't use EAs. So we're open. I'll have a look at the pre-market on the EA in a minute. Bit of volatility at the open, but no real move. Selling the FTSE. I'm going to go just above that level for a hedge. Okay, so I'm long on the DAX on the break of that 5 minutes. So this candle here is basically the 15-minute pre-market range. So longed on the 15-minute pre-market range. Probably not the right play today, to be honest, but we'll see what happens when we get down to this gap fill, if we go for the gap fill, obviously. But breaking long at the moment. Trying to anyway. Hedged on the FTSE. And long on the DAX. Oh, this could be a painful morning. It's really hard work trading manually. You forget when you've been using EAs for such a long time how annoying it is trying to trade volatility with buttons. Very tricky. Not a lot of movement this morning, so this initial opening cash balance candle is actually pretty much the same size as the 5-minute pre-market, so doesn't seem to want to go anywhere today. It's going to do a short gap fill, I think. So I think that's the play this morning. I'm long anyway, so I will see what the price action is when we get down to here. If we pull back into here, I'll probably cancel out those shorts and go long. I'm going to get hedged on that. Right. Worry about that later. So this morning we got two ADRs so far, Aussie dollar yen. So basically we've pushed down sprung up straight into that resistance from yesterday's high and the previous day's high, which is just rejected at ADR. So if you were getting on this one this morning, your reversal alert basically has just gone in this morning, about half an hour ago, 20 minutes ago or so. So that's basically a rejection at yesterday's high and previous day's high and ADR. Beautiful 3-bar reversal there. That's a textbook, absolute textbook 3-bar reversal. Look. Push, rejection, pull. So yeah, lovely 3-bar reversal there and reversal alert. So we're pushing back up to retest at the moment, looking for that push down M pattern reversal. So Aussie dollar yen, ADR hit to the upside. There's no news on the Aussie dollar, no news on the yen today. Obviously, we've got that warning shot across the bow from the Japanese about intervention. So nothing wrong with getting short positions on the yen against the yen, because the likelihood is obviously we're going to get some downward momentum when the yen powers up. New Zealand dollar yen is the other ADR hit. These two are both pretty much the same. So you probably only want to take one or the other. New Zealand dollar yen hasn't reversed yet. So we haven't had the reverse alert on that one just yet. But that has come off of ADR again. It's pushing up at the moment. Some yen weakness coming through. So wait for the reverse alert on that one for a short. I don't think either of these are extended on RSI. No. There's no RSI extensions on them. So you just literally be playing a range-bound trade on that one back down into these lows as sort of best case scenario. So there's the two ADRs. There's nothing hit the weekly ranges yet today, this week at all. So you see, still contracted this week. No weekly range hits. Nothing going anywhere. Nothing's hit its monthly yet either. So bit of a dull week again. RSIs are flat. Nothing to look at. So RSIs on the hourly, we've got nothing lit up. On the 4 hours, the only thing we've got lit up is the US dollar CAD extended, which is not extended anymore. This is just about to turn off, this US dollar CAD. So we have got an extension there. Nice divergence on this one. So market making new highs. RSI flat. Can't draw flat, but that's flat. So bearish divergence. But US dollar, no idea. So obviously, if you did want to take a short on this US dollar CAD, you've missed the reverse alert this morning, which has just gone in. It is just retesting at the moment. So you could take the retest on it. I'm already short on it anyway. But with this one, basically, whatever you do with this today, obviously, everything's going to change at 1:30 when the unemployment rate comes out for the Canadian dollar. We're going to get some strong movement on the Canadian dollar one way or the other. We don't know which, but obviously it's going to move. So just be aware of that. We could have a big drop on the Canadian dollar this afternoon. We could have a massive rally. The US unemployment claims came out as good. So we might have the unemployment rate coming out as it was last time, which would be bullish CAD. But the Canadians are expecting it to rise. So if we get a 5.6, that is as forecast, may or may not have an impact. If we get a 5.7, that would be massively negative for the Canadians. If we get anything below a 5.6, it will be positive CAD. So we'll see what happens with those. They've been pretty good with their unemployment. Missed the last couple. We got a forecast on the last one, so impossible to tell what's going to happen. But watch that this afternoon. About it really there. So next week, I haven't got hedged on that. Oh, look at that. Good boy, DAX. That wick down. Didn't get me in. Lovely. So if we can get a rally on the DAX, that'd be fantastic. So yeah, next week, I'm going to go back to every day of the week. Instead of just 3 days a week, which I've been doing over the August period while it's been quiet. But I'm going to try and keep the streams short if I can. DAX is dropping again. Just because I need time to do other stuff. So obviously I trade in the mornings on the opening ranges and in the afternoon for the US session on the US indices at the open. So I'm going to do that every day as usual. And we'll do whatever analysis we've got on Forex, but at the moment the FX stuff is just dead. So there's so little happening. with FX. It's a case of, I've just been through the analysis this morning. That's it. Yeah. There's a US dollar CAD extension, which is not there anymore. And we've got 2 ADR hits. There's nothing else to look at, is there? If we're trading H1M5 or H4M15 or ADR reversals, that's it. So analysis doesn't really take long, does it? This is why I've got the dashboards, why I invented the dashboards. Not invented them, but why I built the dashboards, to keep the analysis short and sweet. Nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. Don't do anything. Wait. So that's the plan for next week. Carry on as usual that way. Bear with a sec. Yeah, so that's what I will be doing. We'll be concentrating on the indices a little bit more. Hedged on the DAX. Oh, this is going to be a really tricky morning. Let's have a quick look at where we're potentially going on this DAX today. So once the gap fill's done, downside on this is obviously this weekly low that we keep bouncing off. So this weekly low here is last week's low, which is here. Yeah. So previous week's low, we've tested that 4 times now, 5 if you count that one, and we're not going through this level. So if we get this gap fill done today, the only option really is to get down to there and then bounce, assuming that we are going to go long, come and retest this high and then go up and get that gap done. So I suspect if we can get the gap fill done today, that's probably where you want to be taking your shorts off, although it doesn't seem to actually want to be able to do that either at the moment. So apart from that, if we do manage to break this previous week's low, we're going to be running straight into ADR at yesterday's low. And then you've got a move all the way down to 150 ADR, down to this previous double bottom level and that propulsion gap. And then obviously down to the monthly low at 200 ADR. So I can't see this going short today. I'd like to get that gap fill done because I can then take off the short and hope that we get a pullback. Today, basically, because I'm hedged on it, what I would look to do is let this play out down to here and just wait, not take it off with any profit, not aim to get a profit on the short, just basically get down to there and wait for it to sort itself out and see if it does want to play. And then if it starts to push back aggressively, get out a break even on that and then look to make a profit on a breakout long today. But if this thing continues to scream all the way down, we know where we're going to be taking it off. I'm going to be taking it off down here. And then I will get another long on down here to get out of that short. Sorry, to get out of the long that's hedged. That's the plan anyway, but at the moment it's not going anywhere, is it? Morning, Marco. Morning, xrupdate.news. Morning, chemotherapy and palliative in charge, Dr. AJ Palmer. Good morning. Very official. What do you make of the China Apple news? I don't know. What's the China Apple news? I haven't seen any China Apple news. To do with stocks. I don't know. I don't really follow stocks. Jim, it's so boring when you aren't streaming. Oh, what's your view on gold? Will it ever go up again? I don't know. Let's see what Mr. Wick thinks. Gold. Right. Well, the answer to that question is very obvious. You probably know what I'm going to say, don't you? Is the US dollar going to rally? Or is the US dollar going to drop? If the US dollar is going to rally, gold is going to go up. If the US dollar is going to drop, gold is going to go down. No, other way around. Sorry. If the US dollar is going to rally, gold is going to go down. If the US dollar is going to drop, gold is going to go up. I don't know. This is last month. That is the previous month. Yeah. So in the last 2 months, basically, we have formed a range. You're bang in the middle of the range. Market's not going anywhere. US dollar's not going anywhere. Market's not going anywhere. It's just nothing's going anywhere. It is obviously going places, but there's no directional bias. So it's very difficult to tell where gold's going at the moment. You've got more upside potential, I think, on it. I think there's more chance of the US dollar dropping than there is the US dollar rallying. But the Fed are very, very, very undecided at the moment as to what the hell they're doing with anything. All countries are, I have to say. Everybody at the moment is worrying about these terminal rates and where we're going to stop with interest rates, and nobody really knows. So US dollar CAD's coming back down again. It's not flying anymore. It's coming down this morning. But we will see. Okay, DAX is short. Right. Let's see if that FTSE's dropped as well. FTSE's coming back down. So do I take an executive decision on that FTSE and get out of that long? Okay, I'm closing my FTSE longs. Okay, so there's your gap fill complete. So we'll see what price action does down here. So one of two things happening here. Either we are going to find support here, and that'll be it for the short. And then we'll be either going into rotation, or we'll go long, or we're going to do a run back down to retest these levels down here, which is the weekly levels and previous day's lows. In which case, obviously, we'll just be looking for a flush down to here. That's where I'll get out of the shorts. So just going to watch price action at this level and see what happens. At the moment, we've got some buyers seem to have stepped in, but we'll see where we go. US markets seem weak this morning as well. So 230 down. Easy. I'm a bit less this morning. Have you already gone through the pairs? Late. No, I haven't gone through the pairs. There's nothing to go through this morning. There's one RSI and there's two ADRs. So I haven't gone through anything. If there's any pairs you want to look at specifically, let me know. But I'm not going to go through analysis. There's nothing extended. So I'm only going to look at stuff that's extended, really. Unless there's something specific you want to look at. Okay, we're holding at this level at the minute. Come on, FTSE, make your mind up. Going to put this hedge back on in case that is wrong. Move. How about euro yen? I'm short on it along last week. It's hovering around break even. I'm short US dollar yen. Feels like the yen's powering up. Yeah, I think the yen is going to power up. Definitely. So I'll look at that in a sec. I just need to watch this DAX because this is a critical point for the DAX. Okay, so buyers taking control back at that support. I'm not liking the FTSE. Basically, every trade I've taken on the FTSE, I don't trade the FTSE, as you know, never traded it. Every single day I've lost on the FTSE, every day. Every day I've traded it. So I'm not going to trade the FTSE. It's too slow. It's just an absolute slug. It's awful. I don't know how people trade it. I just can't make money on it. So it's out of my portfolio, especially after today. Today is probably going to turn into about a 600 to 1,000 loss on it. Just can't make money out of it. Just too slow. It moves up and down too much. And anything that moves up and down too much with no direction, if you're using any kind of stop loss, is just suicide. So it's just not worth it, I don't think. Okay, we're bouncing off support on the DAX. Really hard trying to manage two accounts at the same time as well. I'll look at that euro yen in a sec. See what I'll do. Load the euro yen up over here to remind me. This is really slow this morning. What have I got locked in on this? $400. I'm just going to leave that locked in, I think, on the FTSE. I'll deal with that later. Okay. Looks like we are getting a bounce. Tricky, isn't it, today? You don't trade gold? No, I don't. I've already done analysis on gold, though. Going up or down depending on where the US dollar goes. US dollar cross, same as everything else. So euro yen, while we're waiting for that FTSE to do something, it's not exactly moving fast, is it? The FTSE and the DAX. So euro yen, obviously, at the moment we're bouncing off support. That move that we had down today, which was based off of that yen intervention, or rather the warning shot from the Japanese this morning about stop selling the yen, it failed. The market doesn't seem to be paying any attention. So the other euro pairs this morning, not particularly strong. So that basically tells you that this euro yen move is actually yen weakness. So it's not going anywhere, as you can see. We are totally sideways on it. I had a short there, which I got out, and I had a long there, which I got out. Any entries you get on this, there hasn't been an entry on this. There was a long entry possibly there, which isn't going anywhere. So I would say probably look up into that propulsion gap. But I'd much rather be shorting it out of that propulsion gap than taking a long on it at the moment, because they keep warning, and eventually one of those warnings is going to play out. So What a slug. Look at these candles on the DAX. Not going anywhere, is it? It's one of those days today. Is it me, or are the markets waiting for something to happen? We don't know. Yeah, they're waiting for something, aren't they? I don't quite know what it is, though. I don't really want to be short on this at the moment. We're holding this gap fill, but there's no buyers in the market, so they can't rally through. There's nobody in the market basically at the minute, is there? So two dojis, so we're not going anywhere, are we? So wait. Just basically, these are pause candles. So do exactly what they say on the tin. Wait. Nothing, no long, no short. There's no signal. So just wait and see who takes control. As I say, this is either going to bounce or it's going to flush. If it flushes, obviously I want to remain short. FTSE's just an utter mess. Utter mess. I hate this thing. I've only been trading it literally for what, 5 days now, and I hate it already. You get a feeling when you trade something, it's like gold. I hate it. Just can't get on with it. I can't get on with this FTSE. I can't get on with it. It's made me some money. This is a different account. This is a stage 2 account, so I haven't got the details for the first one, but I made some money on it. But it was hard to make money. Yeah, when you get stuff like the DAX and the NASDAQ where you just go bang, 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 you just made a load of money. There's certain instruments you trade and you go, this is like pulling teeth trying to get money out of this thing. FTSE is like that. And today's a prime example. It does this a lot. I'm going to do an analysis on it with the EA. I'm going to do some screen grabs so I can just go back in time and watch the opens, but I don't think it's for me. So I might leave that one well alone. Okay, so we got this whole area from yesterday here where we basically consolidated. We consolidated pretty much for the whole session. Yesterday was just consolidation at the end for the DAX. So in this area here, at any point, we could find some buyers starting to step in. So to get a break down to that level, we're going to need a lot of sellers on board. You can't see that, but to get down to these lows down here, we're going to need a lot of sellers on board because we've got to break through this level. So there will be buyers in here looking to buy up this area. So it's going to be quite hard to get through it unless there is a heavy sell bias today. So if we do get through that level, this is a really easy day for a flush play back up. My TP's down here at the moment. Very much the same as yesterday. If you look at what I did yesterday on the DAX, why are my trades not there? Have I got my history? Why are my trades not showing? Weird. Oh, there you go. That was weird. So yeah, so basically the same as yesterday. Got hedged at the open. We rallied straight up. Yeah, same as we're doing today in reverse, basically. So we rallied straight up into the previous day's high. Yeah, took the trades off at the previous day's high. And we got loads of rejection wicks. Put in a big bear candle. Yeah, so I sold it and got out the shorts there and just banked $1,200 or whatever it was. So today will be the same play in reverse, basically. If we are going to flush, we're going to flush down either into those lows or into those lows. So when we get down to these levels, down into sort of 4R to the short side, take off the shorts, wait for price action to give us some idea about going long, and then scale back in, average into the long play, and just get out the long play with less DD than we make on the shorts. That is obviously if it can get down. Same is still there. If we get bought up here and we start pushing back, I shall close these and look for a long. I think it's more of a long today than a short, but at the moment we're not going anywhere at all, are we? Look at this thing. God. Like pulling teeth. Morning, Astro. Definitely still feels like the market's holding its breath for something. Yeah. Can't say your name. J3GM0194. Just purchase your support resistance propulsion indicator. My chart, the DAX goes constantly through the night. Do I need to change the time settings for the chart? There's no time settings on support resistance propulsion indicator. It's just all it does is draw propulsion gaps and support and resistance. There's no time setting on it. But he is poo. I agree with you, Alan. US President going France for big meetings. Maybe we get some good gossip. I doubt it. Not if they're talking to France. It's probably depends what his little cue cards say, doesn't it? Depends what he's been given to read. What starting bank would you recommend using 0.01 for position trading? 2 or 3 grand, maybe. But I wouldn't use 0.01. I'd use 0.02 or 0.03 ideally, because then you can do a partial drawdown control. Morning, Gray. I think he might have to click on the shift charts to right button. I don't actually know what that was about, that comment. So, morning, Monkey. Okay, we've broken shorts. So I'm going to leave my TPs down at 5R for the moment. So watching this level, and then watching that level, and then watching that level. So yeah, we did the analysis in Euro yen, didn't we? Sideways, but more short than long. Especially with what the euro is saying at the moment about, they're being very bearish at the moment, the euro, about interest rates and stuff. They're not looking like they're going to increase them much more than another 1 increase. So I don't think the euro is going to be particularly strong moving forward. Ian, what's your vid on RSI? You use 14. Have you changed to 21? Nope, still 14 on the 4-hour. So the video I think you'll find covers 4-hour RSIs, which is still 14. 21 on the hourly. Just because the hourly, if you use a 14 on the hourly, you'll find you won't get many extensions, especially at the moment. If you do, No, sorry, it's the other way around, isn't it? 14. If you use the 14 on, you'll get too many on the hourly, too many triggers on the hourly. So use 21, slightly slower on the hourly. The lower the time frame, if you use a high speed indicator, a high sensitivity indicator on a low time frame, you get too many signals. It turns into a stochastic, which is obviously, as we know, absolute crap. So there is no right or wrong ever. You use what you are comfortable with. I'm comfortable with the 14 on the 20, or 14 on the 4 hour, and the 21 on the hourly. But do your due diligence. Go and backtest it. Very easy to backtest. Yeah. So every time you get an extension, stick a line on the chart. Yeah. And look at where price turned when you got the RSI extensions. Yeah. So this is a 21 on the euro yen. There. Drop. There. Pop. There. Pop. There. Drop. Yeah. Try the same experiment with a 14, with a 7, with a 28. Usually we go in sequences of 7 days or 7 candles, and just see what you prefer. There is never a right or wrong, and this is never going to be 100% accurate. It's just a condition in the market we know is extended, and after extended conditions you get pullbacks. The whole premise of position trading is we're looking for bank movement. So when the banks have moved, we tend to get relative strength in one direction. After that strength has been moved to a distance where they're happy, they will take profit on that move. We're taking the profit take. That's what we're jumping in on, because you can't predict where price is going to go, because you have no way of seeing into the future. But you can see into the past. And in the past, it tells us when banks have made strong moves, they take profit on those moves. So if we don't try and predict where the market's going to go next on the move the banks make, we can predict where the banks are going to pull back. That's the premise. And that's what the RSI helps you identify, that condition. The signal, obviously, is when the banks start the move, which is the reversal alert, and which tends to be on the lower time frame. But there is no right or wrong in trading, yeah? This is wrong loads. It's right loads. Everything is right and wrong loads. There's nothing that's going to tell you when a move is going to happen, because we can't time the market. It's impossible. What's your average on US dollar CAD? Sorry, bear me a sec. Just watching this propulsion buy here. What total slug. What's my average on US dollar CAD? 135,620. So about 175 ADR. Just been in this squeeze since back here. Look, this is back to August. Yeah. So, I mean, basically the whole month of August was just either completely sideways or very, very slow movement. So we're up at highs at the minute, waiting for some US dollar weakness and waiting for some Canadian dollar strength. So if the unemployment figures come out good this afternoon, we'll be down here later. And then if we can get one more ADR push, i.e. some CAD, US dollar weakness or CAD strength on Monday, I'll be out. I'm just waiting for a couple of ADR days. But, you know, as you can see, we've not had, we've had one big strong move to the downside, which would have given me the break even, but I didn't take the break even. You can see here, there's an entry there, short. There's an entry there, short. So I profit took and profit took. I decided not to exit. I should have done. But I'm looking for that. So we're up at a great level here. Look on the daily. This is a really good level where we should hopefully see some weakness starting to pop in. We've had 5-day rally. Again, typically when we're not in a kind of squeeze, we tend to get a pullback. So been in it for a month now, but not really in much drawdown on it. This is the thing. I keep banking on it. Just can't get a big enough move to get out. Pain in the ass. Right. Got some movement on the DAX and the FTSE. So we're starting a little pullback. Are we at a buyer level for the DAX? Don't know. God, I hate these charts as well in MT5. I just hate MT5. I hate being forced to use MT5. Outside bar forming on the DAX. So sellers tried to take control. Buyers pushed them back. So outside bars are indecision bars as well. So that's what I see at the moment. But as I said, we could easily find some buyers in this accumulation. So this could be where we're going to pull back from. Just don't know today. It's too slow. Well, I hate it when the price action's like this. It's just either move or don't. While he read his cue card and not crapping his pants, that would be new for the world. Oh, bless. He's lovely, Biden, but too old. Took the DAX pre-15, 5 and 15, stopped out on all of them. Made 6R on the DAX yesterday, but so far 6R are down on the week. Basically, the trend days are not making up for the days I get stopped out. No, if you're not getting the trend days, it's a breakout strategy, so you've got to get the trends. I like my MT5. I'm used to it for 4 years. Yeah. It's what you're used to, isn't it? I mean, I've been using MT4 for 15 years. It's hard to change. And it's just so buggy. It's just so buggy. It's getting less buggy, I think, MT5, but I've used MT5 with Darwin X for a long time, and I got so fed up. I think there was a period of about 2 years where literally they broke it 3 or 4 times. It was almost every quarter. It would just break. And you'd be like, God's sake. And you'd have no choice. They push out automatic updates. So it's not like Windows. Do you want to update? No chance, mate. You're going to break it. MT5, you launch it, it goes, we're updating. Bing, here you go. You can't trade. Thanks very much, MT5. When are you going to fix it? Oh, we know we've got some bugs. We'll sort it out in the next 3 weeks or so. No problem. I just won't eat or pay my mortgage or pay my car bills because you've broken my platform. I just got fed up with it. So I know there's been less bugs introduced recently, but it's what it does is it breaks indicators and EAs. It still functions, and what they're looking at is, what do you mean there's a bug with it? Look, I can buy, I can sell, the charts are updating, everything's fine. Yeah, go and put 3 indicators on there. Now it doesn't work because it's broken the indicators. You've changed something and not told the developers until you've launched the product. That's what they do. It's ridiculous. And because it's a graphical user interface, 90% of people load it up and they can't run it because their computers aren't strong enough. And it only incorporates one of your CPUs. I got 32 of the bloody things. Why are you just using one of them? I mean, it's just awful. If you were not going to make a piece of software, this would be it. Honestly, this is why 90% of sales on indicators and EAs are on MT4 still, because people aren't using it. Because it's shocking. And anyway, I've ranted about MT5 many times. It's good at other things. There's some things it's really good at. Not a lot. Wow, this is slow, isn't it, today? Indicator settings. I use what talks to me. Had a very good trading day. Cooking a turkey. Now to celebrate and relax. Good one, Franco. I was thinking about using MT4, but then I would have to buy the EAs again. Yeah, that's the other thing that annoys me about them. Yeah, about MetaTrader in general. Yeah, I'm not in this to make money out of selling indicators. If I was, I would do a lot more selling indicators and marketing and all that sort of crap. I would be 100% up for them. You buying a license for the market reversal alerts EA, and you can use it on any platform you like. They don't do that. No, it's a different software. No, it's not a different software. You've invented something else. Basically, it's like Apple creating the Apple B and saying, this one's brown. Can I transfer my software there? Nope, you've got to buy it all again. That's the same thing. Doesn't make sense. Their business model doesn't make sense. But anyway. Other than that, they're all right. I started with MT5 without knowing everything. This is the thing. I started with MT4. MT5 was very new when I was starting trading. And as I said, they introduced this because they wanted to enter into the futures market. Unbeknownst to them, well, obviously, because they didn't do their research, there's 1,000 other pieces of futures trading software that are way better than this. So everyone went, what, this is a futures platform? They got rid of it. Never took off. Never took off. It gets slow. Yeah, it does get, and this is the thing, it does get slow. Indicators on this. Look, when I update, I won't update that one. God, where's the symbols list? Where's the market watch? So look at that, right? Look at this updating. Look. Have you finished? No. Now you're finished. Okay. Right, let's do the same thing on MT4, shall we? New chart. Template. Loaded. Instant. Don't have to think about it. Right, let's get back to MT5 and let's swap time frames. Give me a minute. Let me just find out if we've got that data. Oh, yes, there we are. I mean, it's just so slow. So slow. This isn't even doing anything. Let's go back to the time frame we just looked at. I was saying, look, you know what that should look like because I was just on it. And I switched to it and it goes, no, I'm going to redraw everything for an hour. It's just shocking. Don't need to prove the point anymore, do I? Have you tried Pine scripting? Yeah, I could Pine script if I wanted to, but I don't use TradingView. So, right, I'm closing out the FTSE shorts. I'm closing out. I'm not sure about closing out the DAX shorts yet. I've got a feeling this is going to be a terrible loss day today. This market is very difficult to read. There's too many points. There's too many areas this could drop. Too much this could do today. It's very difficult to read where this is going. I suspect we might be just looking at a flag again here. But this FTSE doesn't seem to be able to make much progress at all. And we bought basically straight out of that propulsion gap, which broke that high. I reckon this is buyers stepping in, but we're going straight into this sell zone. I just really want to get back to there to close this all out and just take this loss and walk away from the FTSE because I hate it with a passion. I'm not trading it at all anymore. Just closed all my yen sales. We're all in profit. Good job. Don't want to get into huge drawdown with them. No. This is so unbelievably slow today. Look at this. This is just not moving today. CAD yen ADR. Glad I got out of that CAD yen yesterday. We did get the reversal alert on it yesterday. It's a nasty 3-day reversal alert though, so it's basically an accumulation again. But we are pulling back up into retest it now. Oh. If anybody's got any other pairs they want to look at, let me know. But there's not really a lot to look at the minute. Bear me a sec. I'm just going to protect the shorts. Oh, look, a bit of volatility coming in. Look, that was it. God, so why not? Right, Euro US dollar. So I've got a long on Euro US at the minute. Since I took the trade on Tuesday, which is the H1 RSI extension, we've gone sideways for 2 days. We're not going anywhere at the moment. We have just had a reversal alert on it, though, on the hourly. So we have got some buyers starting to step in. Watch this propulsion gap for a bounce. Yeah, and looking for a push back up into this area here. Back up into propulsion, basically. Needs that US dollar weakness. Again, everything. We're just waiting for the US dollar to weaken. The problem at the moment is there's no currency out there with any strength. And whenever the market is totally flat, the US dollar will always prevail because it is the world's currency. Everything's transacted in US dollar. It will always gather more strength than every other currency out there. So we've got a situation at the moment where there's nothing happening on any currencies, which is why the US dollar is looking like it's strong. It's not strong. It's just everything else is weak at the minute. So we're waiting for some bad news on the US dollar to basically give the market a chance to get a move started, which we're just not getting. We're not getting negative news on the US. We're getting positive news on the US, but it's not driving the US either. We're getting the odd bit of movement. So just waiting at the minute for a push up into propulsion on that one. We are down at a level here coming up, which is ADR 125 today. There's your current area of support, which is kind of from here, about 75% of ADR today, all the way down to about 150 ADR. Anywhere in there, potentially we could find some buyers coming in, and then we'll obviously start a pullback. But we've got a pullback to do on this entire move. Look. So just a waiting game at the minute. Lagarde's not helping either at the moment. We've not got any of the bullish statements that we were promised from the euro. The euro, they've been saying for months, we're going to have to keep doing our interest rates because it's not going the right way. The fundamentals are not going our way. We're at 5.3%. We didn't move on inflation. You need to increase your interest rates. Everybody else is 1% ahead of you. And you've got the third weakest in the world. Why are you not moving? They're just not moving interest rates. And now they've said that we might stick at 4.25 again even though that is way, way, way too high. And that, look at it. I mean, it's just, they're worried about increasing this because they're worried about that going up. That goes up, that's going up anyway. So you need to do this. I don't know why they're not doing it. But it's not helping the euro, obviously, at the minute. So we're kind of in a stalled point at the moment. But we will see what happens. So that's euro US dollar. Euro pound. I think a load of people got out of this euro pound yesterday. I've not got into the euro pound. So the RSI got extended above 70 here on that push. I mean, we haven't gone anywhere on it. The pound should be strong. We've had some fairly bad news on the pound, and Bailey again didn't help on the pound either. He's been kind of a bit bearish, like Lagarde has. But the pound should easily be stronger than that euro. So I'd be looking for longs really on this. That's an awful arrow. Be looking for longs on this. Sorry, shorts on this. Short euro, long pound. So that reverse alert that's just retested, we've got a nice big bearish engulfing going there. We're just about to break that low. If we break that low, we'll be looking to come back down, I think, continue to the downside. So it is bearish if you look at it at the moment. And it should really remain bearish. But you look at, when I say bearish, I mean, we're making lower highs constantly. Yeah. But we're not making lower lows. So it's a descending wedge, which will usually break to the downside. But be prepared to get there as a range. It's just nothing's moving at the minute. We haven't got any volatility or volume in any direction on anything. It's just nothing. The market's flat. Market's dead. The world is confused. We're waiting for that housing bubble to burst. When that housing bubble bursts, this thing will take off. Everything will take off. The stock market will take off. Everything will just go when the housing bubble goes. And I don't care whether it goes up or down. The stock indices will go down. Just do something, It's the hardest bit about trading is sitting on your hands and waiting. And at the moment, none of these markets are going anywhere. Out the DAX short. So looking for a break long on the DAX. V-shaped recovery and then pull back and long. And the FTSE to rally. Should have gone with plan A, shouldn't I? Got out where I was expecting the buyers to step in. That candle just didn't help. If that candle had been more bullish, I probably would have exited that, but it wasn't. So I really don't know where this is going today. I just got a feeling we're going to get a rotation today. It's Friday. It's always a bit dodgy, isn't it? So it's a slow night until CAD breaks news in the morning. Yeah. I don't think we're waiting for the CAD unemployment rate, especially not with the US indices or the euro indices. But see. I'm closing out the shorts. So 416 loss. If I can get 1.5R on these longs, that banks me $400 on this, and that will be a result today. You get $400 out of this thing today. Oh God, look at the FTSE. Close my DAX short. We'll be happy to get out of break even long. Yeah, hard work, pulling teeth. Some days are like this. Look at yesterday though. I mean, yesterday on the Dow was just. I mean, It was impossible not to make money on the Dow yesterday. Look at that. Entry, straight in 2R. Could have taken 4R. I took out 4R, as in 2R, and then a 2R on the second position. But literally, within 5 minutes, I had $2,000 banked. Yeah, so it's the trading indices is swings and roundabouts very, 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 very much, because it is either you have volume or you don't. And when you haven't got volume, like today, these are the days you can get chopped to pieces. You are actually better off just walking away on days like this, because what it ends up doing is just milking you if you're not careful. So I'm looking at this FTSE at the moment thinking this is short again now. The trouble is the outlook from price action changes all the time. So I'm looking at this thinking, right, we got a high, we got a low, we got a lower high, we got a lower low, we got a lower high. Where are we going? Down. Why have I cancelled my shorts? Well, because we pushed into propulsion, bounced off support, and it looked like we were pushing back up. Yeah. Every 10 to 15 minutes, you go, oh, it's long, oh, it's short, oh, it's long, oh, it's short. Every single one of those is a stop out, because all it does all day is do that. So it's very dangerous trying to trade in conditions like this. Now we've got contraction going on. Heads or tails, literally. So you got to give up, because if you flip heads and tails 5 times in a row, that's 5% of your account gone. So you've just got to lock it in and get out. Walk away and go, today is a loss. I can't Swiss yen to drop to hell. What? You want Swiss yen to drop to hell, I think you mean. Again, look, short, out, long, out, right in the middle, short it. Should have longed it there. This isn't going anywhere at the moment. So, but if the US dollar yen rallies above that level, not above that level, obviously, because this is the Swiss yen, but if the US dollar yen goes above that level there and breaks high today, if we got, I mean, we're going to need a 150 ADR move to the upside to break high. So unlikely. It's going to need it's going to need a massive unemployment rate drop on the Canadian dollar. So if this unemployment rate today comes out as something like 5.4, 5.3, even better, the Canadian dollar is going to go through the roof. The US dollar is going to go through the roof. The US dollar yen is going to go through the roof. It's going to break that high at 150 ADR. If it closes above that level, the Japanese on Monday will be not getting their shotgun out to give us a shot across the bow. They'll be getting a cannon out. And they'll be saying, do that again, and I'm going to punch you. And then that intervention will come. But look how far away we are now from the 150 level, which is intervention 2 in October last year. Yeah, that's 225 ADR. So we're roughly 3 ADR away. That will be easily hit next week. So next week, we'll be back down here if it continues to rally. But we need to, there's no news to provoke this US dollar today apart from the Canadian. If the Canadian comes out as expected, nothing's going to change, is it? Looking at next week, first US dollar news is CPI on Wednesday. So that is going to rally the market one way or the other. And then we got PPI on Thursday. So there's nothing really to move this US dollar until Wednesday next week. So we've got Monday and Tuesday potentially just sideways. Oh, Dax, what are you doing? So FTSE now, ignoring that little wick up there, yeah? FTSE now, we're 20-minute inside bars, not going anywhere. 20 minutes sideways. Now we just push down to the downside. And it'll probably close bullish. If it closes bearish, I'm dead. I'm going to have to get out of this. I'm just going to lock this hedge in. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to get out. I'm going to blow the account, basically. It's a stage 2, so I need to get out. Or shall I see if it gets a rundown? So I'm going to run this down to here. If it can get down to there, I'm going to take profit on the short. I'm going to flip long with 2 more positions and try and get out up here somewhere. If it goes like this before New York, if we're still there before New York, I'm going to shut the lot out and just take the loss. It's $600. DAX, pretty much the same. DAX is just mucking about today. So this could go absolutely anywhere. If it goes down, the account's blown. If it goes up, happy days. Prop trading. It's a gamble, isn't it? You're only trading a demo, so I don't really care. This, however, is a slightly different story. It's a proper circus, Mr. Lucy. It certainly is. When is the index scalper coming out? Well, this... look at this thing. What are you doing? I'm undecided what to do with it. Is the honest answer, because... I'm still undecided on what logic to include because I want to make this as automated as possible. So I'm still playing with different logics because the problem I have is if I release a product like this is right now, not that this is right now, but like this is right now, yeah, everybody's going to go, but it doesn't make money. Because at the moment, it is designed to automatically get me into positions when the trades work, automatically handle my stop losses, get me out, make me money, bank it, and stop. On the days that it doesn't work like that, we don't get a clean break like yesterday, there are logics to put in place for what shall we do next. Do we cancel our hedge when we see something happen? Do we go... And when we get to a target, do we then take a second entry to scale into that short? Do we leave that, wait for the pullback, and then close out when we've got a positive result? If so, what is that positive result? There's 1,000 ways to trade this. If I release this as it is now, everyone's going to moan because it doesn't make money. No, it doesn't make money. I make money because I'm a trader. What this does is automate 90% of my work. So I'm trying to figure out the best logic to put in to allow people to use it as they want to. So there's only a certain number of outcomes you get when you're hedged. Yeah, you've got 2 options. You either stay in the hedge and it doesn't go anywhere and you take the loss of the hedge, whatever that may be. When you get to a TP level, which is big, like a 4R or a 5R, that was yesterday was a 5R, you then wait at that 5R for the market to drop and you close out the short position when it gets to a better, a lower drawdown than that was. I can enter an amount to say, what would you like? $250, $500, $50, whatever you want. You put a money into your amount, and when it gets down to there, it will close it out and make you a profit for the day. The other option is that, as I did there, is to DCA into it, dollar cost average into the position, and get out fast. That got me out in 15, 20 minutes because I did a DCA. If I didn't do a DCA, I'd have to wait for it to get down to there. Yeah. So I need an input for that. Do you want to do that? But the more inputs I give, the more people get confused with the products and they moan because the products are too complicated. I can't win. So my position at the moment is this is absolutely fantastic. It does everything I want it to because I'm going to trade with it. But I can't put something out there that I'm going to trade with because everyone else wants it to automate everything for them. because that's what they think EA should do, trade for them and make them money automatically, which they can do in certain cases, but 90% of the time you're a trader, you've got to trade, right? So I don't know what logic to put in, but there are only certain amount of things you can do. You either do DCA or you don't. You do get out or you don't. Or you leave the hedge. I don't know. There's other things you could do. You could say, shall I use yesterday's high as a target instead of a 5R? What if it only gets to 4R and reverses? If 4R is also at yesterday's high, that's the obvious spot, not 5R. So should we adjust the stop down to 4R? In which case, what logic do you want to use? There's 1,000 ways to do this, yeah? At the end of the day, support and resistance is what the market moves from and to, and that's exactly why I made money on this yesterday, because it got to yesterday's high and reversed. Just so happens that that was also 5R from the range. But it's very hard to code that logic in, because if I see that, I need to watch price action here. So what price action do you want me to use? Do you want me to use a shooting star, a bearish engulfing, 3 wicks in a row? All of them? One of them? 3 of them? Everybody's going to want something different. You know, you can't please anybody, which is why I make my products very loose, because they're not designed for the guys that want to spend $99 or $50 and go and sit on the beach and drink a Mai Tai. Those guys are not going to make money in the markets. They need to learn how to trade. So I'm in a bit of a quandary with it, because it is a totally different product. It's turned from a analysis tool into a hedging strategy, which is working most of the time very well. But sometimes you cock it up. Today I've cocked it up. Today's going to be a big loss day. I know what's going to happen. It's coming down to here. So I'm going to need to DCA into this, which means I'm going to take heavy drawdown. But my choice is to take heavy drawdown. If this goes into 5K drawdown, I'm happy with that, because I made 25 grand in the last 2 weeks. So if it goes down to there and then it goes like that and pushes down further, I'll take a 7K loss. I don't care. But you can't program that logic, can you? So it's a difficult one. I don't honestly know the answer to it. This account's blown. Surprised it still let me trade, to be honest. The only chance I've got of saving this account is to get a bounce at this double bottom. I need the buyers to step in here, push back up into there, then I can exit that. That's the only chance I've got of saving this today. Otherwise, that's account blown, unfortunately. Never mind. Oil. Which prop do I recommend? I did recommend my Forex funds, but I wouldn't anymore. I don't know. They're all the same. This is... I wouldn't recommend these guys. I mean, if you're going to trade manually, fantastic. They've got excellent market execution, excellent liquidity. Everything looks great. It's just it's on MT5 and you can't use EAs. So although they say you can use EAs, but you've got to send them the EA and explain the strategy. Not letting you use EAs, is it? That's saying something different. Most of the companies that do that don't actually ever respond to you, but I don't know. I haven't really tried. Oil. But if you, yes, I mean, with that other version of the EA, I don't really know what to do with it. I was going to release it as a development version. So if people want it as it is now, fine, they can have it. But on the understanding, I'm going to keep changing this thing all the time. So I can, in every new thing I implement, I can basically have an on-off switch for it so that it works exactly as it does right now. And if you want the new features, you can turn them on and off. So that's what I'm kind of planning to do with it. But I'm still, there's so many routes I can take it. I'm not sure exactly which one to go yet. And I need to spend time doing analysis to see which is going to be the better route to take. And that's the problem, is time. So if there's stuff that you think you would like it to do, let me know and I can obviously look at it and test it, basically. Oil. So oil's broken out the highs. So we were looking at this range on oil, which we've been in since this year, basically. So since December, November, December, we've been in the range. We hit the range high, bounced off, did the 38 pullback, broke the highs. So now we're looking basically for continuation moves. So pulls back into the 24.72, moving up into these highs, which is $95 a barrel. Yeah. So that's the target that is set by Goldman Sachs and a couple of other big firms. They're looking around about $95 a barrel this year. We've only got 3 months to get there now. So hopefully that is what we're going to do. But it's going to take a hell of a move to get us up there. So just buying pullbacks basically on oil. The Saudis and the Russians have both confirmed they're going to stop. They're going to freeze production. So basically, as demand increases, production will be strangled, which increases prices. So there's no reason why we shouldn't be looking for longs on oil. Obviously, we don't know when it's going to go, but we could well just go into a multi-day, multi-week accumulation up here, couldn't we? But longer than shorter is my view on it at the minute. There we go. So stopped out, all positions closed, count blown. Bye-bye. Start again. Hold all tickets. Please all in. Yeah. Well, I'm out now. Have you made some coding for fetching news events? No. How many accounts can I put one EA on? As many as you like. Do they have to be on the same computer? No. EAs will work on whatever you want them to. No limit. There's only a limit to PCs. So EAs will only work on individual computers. So you get 10 licenses. Each license is one PC. So you can use the EA on as many brokers, as many accounts, terminals as you want, but it's per PC. So one PC here, VPS, laptop, that's 3 licenses. That's going down yet. So that was right. So I got this totally wrong today. So looking for a bounce. So the original idea I had, which was the bounce play down here, is what I'm going to do today. And we'll see where we go. So basically, as you can see, we're in a three-day range at the moment. Or this is potentially day 3. So all these areas down here, somewhere around about 4 to 5 hour, we're looking for support. See the EAs as mostly semi-automatic, yeah. It's up to the trader to read the market structure. Once hedged, don't think you need to worry about doing it for us, mate. Morning, day trader FX. You are late. So watching for price action down here and there. So that's yesterday's low. We've also got ADR coming up. Yeah. So ADR is here. Yesterday's low. And that's a 5R move on the initial range. So down here, we should be getting some kind of bounce. Just seeing if there's any news coming in that's causing this. So it's just the market took forever to get going this morning. Just the market taking its sweet time today. Aussie dollar yen. Yes, nice rejection at the highs there. Same with the Swiss yen today. We looked at the Swiss yen earlier. No, it wasn't the Swiss yen. CAD yen, wasn't it? Euro yen. What did we look at earlier? Euro yen, wasn't it? Can't remember. But anyway, Aussie dollar yen. So yeah, nice rejection at the highs earlier. Good support bounce, resistance bounce going on. the previous day's high. No, this is the one we looked at, wasn't it? The Aussie dollar yen, yeah, because it was yesterday's high and previous day's high rejection. So this was the retest on the reversal alert, wasn't it? We looked at. Yeah, there you go. So there's your reversal alert. The retest arrow's there because that actually pushed down from there, but that is your M pattern. Potentially going in. So if we break that low, so you could get in now, short, add, and play it down, but don't get too greedy on it. Watch this low down here, ADR. Oh, I'm so annoyed about that FTSE. It's the FTSE that's screwed me again. So just to recap that Audacity Capital evaluation, flew through stage 1. That was stage 2, made a grand on it yesterday. But in the 5 days I've been trading it, every single day I've lost money on the FTSE. Today, lost money on the FTSE. Yeah. So if I hadn't traded the FTSE throughout that entire period, I'd been killing it. But the FTSE, not my friend. So I'll restart again on stage 1 basically next week. And because I quite like the execution, I just don't like the platform. But yeah, I'll restart it. I'm just going to drop the FTSE because I don't get on with it. We've blown through that support. So it looks like we're heading down to yesterday's low, where we're going to find some limit triggers. 17. So I'm going to wait for price action down here. Might get some here. Do I pay for a news service? No. Financial Juice? No, it's free. That's why I use it. It's about 10 seconds behind the ones you pay for. And as I said, I think it was on Wednesday, somebody asked the same question. You can pay for things like News Squawk or whatever it's called. And you can pay, there is a version of this, like if you go pro with Financial Juice, I think the advantage is they give you the news 10 seconds earlier. Yeah, News Squawk's $320 a month. Then Live Squawk is $320 a month. What do you get with Pro? 24-hour real-time squawk and text, no delay. The delay is seconds, literally. You don't get any advertising. I don't really see any advertising. The advertising that is actually there advertising for Tick Strike. I'm not bothered about that. So, I mean, you get very little for that $99 a month extra than you get here. Yeah. And as I said, the advantage of having this news the second it lands is you get to press that button. But unless you can analyze what that news means to you and what you think is going to happen to the market, and you're using news to enter your trades, having it 10 seconds earlier doesn't actually help you. What tends to happen is we'll be sitting here, and this is why you saw me a minute ago. I did exactly what I always do. We saw the DAX start to take off. So what did I do? Bang. I went, oh, what's going on? Is there a news event triggering this move? The first thing you see on when a news release comes out is your chart move. You're like, whoa, what the hell happened there? Let's have a look at the news. If you were sitting here watching this and they went, US dollar yen, blah, 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 by the time you've got over here, that candlestick's already gone. There's absolutely no point in buying it, is there? Really? I don't see the point. See no point in buying news. It's there for free. There's plenty of places that do this as well. It's just this is really easy and it gives me desktop notifications. So I'm sitting here doing other stuff and all of a sudden it pops up on theirs like news. So I'm like, okay, I need to pay attention to something. So it's like another signal. It's like another dashboard. News has just come out. Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting. The ECB's decided to do this. Let's go and have a look at what positions I've got on the euro. That's what you use news for. It doesn't help you get into any profitable positions, I don't think. Sorry. Which copy trader do I recommend? The best one to use is FX Blue. Trade Mirror. Not it. Is it? FX Blue Live. Internet Trader. Oh, Internet Trade. Oh, this is new. Apps. There we go. That's what I was looking for. There you go. FX Blue Personal Trade Copier for MT4. So this basically is the easiest thing to do. Just use this, copy between accounts. It looks like they've got something online now as well, which I've not actually seen, but trades are duplicated between MT4 and MT5 accounts running on different computers. Senders can control which trades are broadcast. Yeah, so I mean, FX Blue. For free ones, I mean, there's loads. Again, go and do your own due diligence. There's a lot of ways to use these things. So use whichever you think suits your needs the best. That prop was Alpha Capital. Yeah, so DAX, just watching this now. So basically looking for some buyers on the DAX. So there's the high. Yeah. So there's the low. So the first sign that we're running out of sellers will be an inside bar or a hammer. But what you would tend to find is when we hit a support level like this, yeah, so we've just hit this level here, which is this previous low. Yeah. Look at what happens when you hit these levels, yeah? Right, so there was the initial level put in. What happened when we hit this? Yeah, we got a little wick there and a big bull candle. We came back down to it. Yeah, we put in a bearish engulfing immediately straight off of it. We came down, we got to that level, we put in a massive bullish engulfing. What have we done here? We've come down to that level, we've screamed through it. Are there any buyers here? If there were, they'd have bought it. So where's the next level? Yesterday's low. Watch here. Watch this wick and pop off of yesterday's low as the limit orders trigger. Yeah. If that doesn't happen, there's no buyers here. At that point, we're at ADR. So you're in the lap of the gods because we've made new lows. We've broken out. So we're waiting for the buyers, the sellers, to run out of sellers, and then the buyers will take back control. So there you go. Some limit orders seem to have triggered there. This is yesterday's low. Obviously, it doesn't trigger on yesterday's low. It triggers around yesterday's low. There's never a level. There's nothing exact in trading. It's not a line. It's an area. So if you look at these previous levels where we got these bounces, yeah, that's where it bounced last time. That's where it bounced then. Not the same. That's where that bounced. Somewhere around there, but we bounced there, we bounced off there. But look at the wicks. You can see people are buying this level up. The sellers can't get through it. That was where it was previously. There, yeah. That's the level. That's where the buyers started to enter. It didn't even get down to the line. Yeah, we don't hit lines, we hit areas. This is an area. We are bouncing. So we'll see where we go on this candle. We've got 1 minute 50 left. There's your high, there's your low, there's your low, there's your low. So we are still bearish at the minute. Buyers have not managed to make any progress. So we'll wait and see what happens. So when you get a doji, it means there's equilibrium. So there's the same amount of buyers as there are sellers, which means no one's got control. So now we need to wait for the next candle to see, are those buyers that put the brakes on able to take control, move the market up, or are we stuck and the sellers have still got a lot of sellers in the market, in which case we would just get a little bit of a battle forming. Then you're looking for a breakout. Who's going to win that battle? button. Would there be some usage of analysis averaging volume after index open? See what the pond runs dry, so to speak. You can't use volume in FX, in CFDs, because there is no centralized volume. Volume is the only place you can use any kind of volume analysis is in futures market on the CME, on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, because it's a centralized exchange in futures. In CFDs, you are trading a contract for difference with your broker. So when you look at the volume in here, your volume that you see will be different to my volume, because my volume here is how many people are doing trades right now in Robo Forex broker. Yeah, if you go and look at the volume profile in another broker, it will be different because you are seeing the volume of your broker, not the volume of the market. Okay, so we're 1.5 hours in now. I mean, you can try and use it if you want to. They're going to be similar. You're going to get spikes. Everybody's going to do stuff at the same time. But you can't rely on volume in CFDs. Okay. Oh, that's wrong. It should be 17s. I should really be using the Price Action Toolkit for this, shouldn't I? But okay, so I'm going to start trailing orders above highs of wicks. Yeah, so as long as this continues to push to the downside, I will keep following it. And then when we get that rally, look at the speed of the pop. Yeah. When we do actually run out of sellers, like that candle there, the buyers will suddenly take control and all those sellers will exit their positions to make profit. So everybody that's shorting this now, to get out of this, they've got to go long. They've got to go the opposite side of their order, obviously. So as soon as the buyers start to push back, the sellers will go, right, we've had enough, we're going to get out as well. So you get a double volume of buyers coming through, which is why you tend to get a big candle. That's what causes a bullish engulfing. So if you trail the high of the previous candle, when that bullish engulfing happens, you're getting in as fast and as early as you can. The problem with getting in this way, obviously, is this candle hasn't completed. So it could become a bullish engulfing and then turn into a doji and carry on. Downsides of using pending orders as opposed to waiting for a candle to close and getting confirmed analysis. But that's a big, strong sell-off. And look at where that initial wick happened there. Yeah. And you saw when we pushed down how quickly that got pushed back up again. People are buying this level. Thoughts on US dollar yen? I've been through that quite a lot. We're waiting for rejection up here. We're waiting to see what happens. If they push, the US dollar will the Japanese will intervene and drive it back. If they're listening to what the Japanese said this morning, they've got half a brain, they'll drop it. So I've been looking for shorts on it. I'm short at the moment. You can see my target, yeah, is down here. The reason my target is down there is because if that intervention happens, we will get a 4 to 6 ADR move against the US dollar. So my target is 4 or 5 ADR away. That is if there's an intervention. If there's not an intervention, obviously, it will just carry on, probably ever so slowly grinding, rangy type thing. But I'm looking for shorts at the minute. So what if we do the same analysis on index open? Instead of ADR, we look for average range after open. Well, I've done that analysis. That's why I'm using 10 to 20% of ADR. Still pushing down. Okay, so we've gone through yesterday's low. Big sell-off. So we're ADR. No buyers in the market at the minute. So I don't quite know what you mean. Say analysis on index open. Instead of ADR, we look at the average range after the open. How's that going to help you then? The average range, how's, I don't understand what the average range is going to do. We know what the average daily range is, but the average range at the open is going to be different every day. You can take an average of that, but how does that help you like today? For example, if the average range was, I don't know, let's measure that. So that's 224. So let's say the average range was 300. Yeah. Are you saying that you would put entries at 300? Because that has no meaning, does it? What we're looking to do is take a breakout of levels, because when the market moves and breaks out, we get people adding to positions, which drives the opening range in a direction. Meaning average daily range after open to the end. I don't know what you mean, sorry. We know what the ADR is. This is the ADR low. ADR is 1523. Yeah? That's ADR low. We're bouncing off of ADR low now, or hitting ADR low now. I don't understand what you mean, Daniel. Sorry, I don't. Instead of looking at the entire day's range, we look at the range it takes after the open. But that is ADR, isn't it? So if it moves X after the open, that is part of the average daily range. It's all the same thing, isn't it? I don't know. I don't quite understand what you mean, but range is a range. Yeah, I mean, so if you're saying if you just measure that, so on a rotation day, you're going to get a different result to a trend day. But if you amalgamate those two together, what do you get? ADR. Surely that's the best thing to use, isn't it? What it does on average every day, not the difference between. I don't know. I don't see the logic in the calculation, but some ADR calculates from 0 instead of 9. Yeah. So right. So your ADR is going to be, but your ADR is measured from the high and low of the day. What happens pre-market? Yeah. After that pre-market range will never form anything but in between the high and low of the day. So if there was a load of candlesticks here, look at I haven't got it, I've shut it now, but if you look at the other platform, yeah, anything that's happened in here, right? So that's where Robo Forex opens the market at 7 a.m. That's where it closed. Anything that's happened in there, right? We're either above it or we're below it. Yeah. ADR is calculated from the high of the day or the low of the day. So this is inconsequential information, isn't it? Because it forms part of that range. Unless I'm misunderstanding what you mean. Okay, so we're pulling off ADR low at the moment. My ADR on the DAX is slightly different. Yeah, I mean, that'll be down to your broker. Obviously, different feeds, different brokers. You're going to get slightly different levels. Okay, so we've got rejection off of ADR low. So all I'm going to do today is try and average back in. So my loss today so far is $416. So all I can really hope for today is probably a loss. But might be able to squeeze a profit out of it if we can get a decent pullback into propulsion. So I'll be looking to get close to that as I can, basically, to exit the day. I'm going to try one. Did that take two? No, it took one. I'm going to try an entry here, but I'm going to put stops on these two. Because this is just a rejection off of ADR, not necessarily the low, but we are just taking a sweep of this low at the moment, and that is a big drop. So they're going to want to take profit on this move before they continue. Market structure. Yeah. So if I can get an entry here that works and add there, and we can break that low and get back up into there, you can see where my average is now. If I can get these positions on as well, that'll bring my average down to there. If I can get up to there, I'm out and done for the day. We're really extended. We've done an ADR, which is not normal. So we are extremely stretched, and I would expect a profit take to come off of this. If that doesn't happen, that move, I will stop out on that portion of it. See if we can get a rally. But nasty day today. Right, I'm going to leave it there. I'll be back this afternoon for the US session. FX stuff is not really going anywhere at the moment. I'm just sitting in 3.9 DD. I've got a little bit I can bank on these Aussie positions, but not really worth banking as yet. So I will look for a push up into there, into propulsion. Actually, we might as well go for ADR. Oh, it's Canadian dollar today, isn't it? No, let's go for that high, 150 ADR. So targeting that high on the Aussie CAD. So if we get Canadian dollar weakness, i.e. the unemployment rate goes up, Aussie CAD's going to fly. New Zealand dollar, US dollar, pretty much the same trade. So that's got a chance of hitting. So I'm just targeting this propulsion gap here, assuming that we're going to get a pullback. Continuation short. Obviously, if it goes long, I'm out anyway. Doesn't matter. Everything else is just kind of sitting sideways at the minute. This pound US dollar hasn't gone anywhere. So I've got this aggressive drawdown control position on at the moment. Stops under that low. Looking for a push up. So again, Canadian dollar, if we can get a rise in unemployment rates on the CAD today, the US dollar and the Canadian dollar are going to weaken. Everything's going to go up against them. So how far, we will wait and see. But obviously waiting to see if we get that movement on the CAD. So that's 1:30 this afternoon. That's next week. So watch out for that this afternoon. And basically we'll see where we go from there. We're just waiting to see what happens with that news. And I think that's what the market is kind of hanging around for at the moment. So, but other than that, there's no other news today. So it's just a case of keeping your eyes peeled on the financial juice and see if anything exciting happens. They're all going on strike in Australia. Not that it really affects us, but okay. Anything else you need, let me know. I'll be in Telegram. Other than that, I will be back this afternoon at 2:20 and back normal time now every day next week, 7:50 in the morning. And we'll obviously trade the indices, do the normal analysis as we used to. Now August is out of the way. Fingers crossed, things start to move. But at the moment, it's just meh, isn't it? Just waiting. All right, so have a good morning. I will see you this afternoon at 2:20 if you're around. If not, I'll see you on Monday at 7:50, same time. Have a good day.